Hello.
We are
We are
live.
back. Have you missed us? Welcome to the Shore Community Podcast. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Tom. How are you?
How's everybody doing tonight? We are back, ready to go, and our guest tonight is Dolores DeSanto, the executive director of the Rugby School at Woodfield, right here in Wall. The Rugby School has become one of the most highly regarded schools of its kind, providing the best educational and treatment approaches to students grades 1 through 12 to help special education students maximize their potential. Rugby provides a balanced, comprehensive program with years of experience, offering a variety of remedial and academic programs as well as therapeutic services to provide students with everything they need to prepare for higher education and eventually the workforce. Students are offered small class sizes and one-to-one learning opportunities. Please welcome Dolores to the podcast.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for having me here tonight.
Thank you so much for coming. It's exciting to have you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we've known about you just because you're so well known in the area for so long, but I'm interested in kind of I guess the school was founded by your father
Yes, that's
back in
correct.
1977. So
Yep.
you were even born probably then,
I was
right?
born.
And
Charmer.
so can you talk a little bit about maybe why your father decided to start the school and how has it evolved over time?
Sure. My dad was a child psychologist, and we're originally from Brooklyn, New York. And he worked in a school called the Rugby School in New York, in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
And it was for special needs children. And that school had been established since about the 40s or 50s. He also worked in a group home at nights. And eventually, he decided that he wanted to expand the business into New Jersey and possibly upstate New York. The owner of the school gave my dad that opportunity along with the owner's son. So my dad ventured out into New Jersey and he found his first building in Eatontown, and we were there for about a year. And until we found the building on Belmar Boulevard, and we've been in that location since 1977.
It's incredible.
And it was the Bible Baptist Church originally, and we rented space from them. Long story short, probably about 20 years later, they decided to sell the building, and we took it over.
What an incredible
That's awesome.
story. It's like,
Yeah.
that seems like such a huge undertaking to start a school.
Yes, I remember. Okay, so I was 12 years old when my dad started the school. We moved here the day after 6th grade. Culture shock. None of us knew what we were in for. My dad did commute back and forth to his other job for about a year while starting the school. They started with one student in June of 1976, right, in the other building. And he graduated with one student. And he had one principal, one student himself, and my mom was the bookkeeper. She did the billing. And
Family business, for
Family
real.
business. She was a secretary. I would help out cleaning, dusting my father's office, things of that nature. And so I basically grew up in the school. I would go to all the events, meet a lot of the students, the teachers. It's definitely in my blood and definitely has been ingrained in me I'm so proud to be second generation.
Yeah.
Really
keep the
nice
mission
that
going.
you were able to kind of step in there and take over as the executive director. What are some of the values that you guys try to instill in your students? Like, what are the
Yeah.
things that are most important in your mission?
Yeah, acceptance is so important. They all have various learning disabilities and different issues for why they're at the school, and we want them to have a sense of community, feel trusted, feel accepted, and when we get new students in, we want them, the current students, to embrace the new students and make them feel welcome and comfortable. A lot of the students do come in with school phobias, maybe bullying issues. Because of their disabilities, they don't feel accepted. Everybody in rugby school is on the same playing field. Everybody could be a star at rugby. We provide so many different opportunities for them to shine.
So you started with one student in 1976. How many students do you have now?
We have 89 students.
89. How many
Yeah.
teachers do you have?
We have approximately 14 classrooms, but we have a lot of different. We have science teacher. We have different kinds of teachers.
Different curriculums.
Exactly. We have culinary instructor, work study instructor. So it's not just in the
Right.
classrooms. We have math teachers, English teachers that are not just in the classrooms. They help with like pull out.
Right.
So it seemed like you guys had a lot of academics incorporated in your curriculum, but also a lot of life skills. Like I was so excited
Absolutely.
to see culinary
Yep.
on the list. So I think that's
Absolutely.
amazing.
So it's my goal. Okay, when I took over the school, I mean, my dad was incredible. He had his own vision. He had his vision, right? And when I came on board full time, which was in 1999, I finally made that commitment. I said, I'm ready. I would be in and out. I'd, work a summer here and there through college, or I worked throughout the school year as a teacher's assistant. Finally, in 1999, I said, I'm ready. I'm on board. I want to do this because when I make a commitment, that's it. I'm in. He had a different, he was older.
Yeah.
Okay. He had more experience. I was young. I was new. I was fresh. I saw things differently. So the two generations we met, and what I think is really important is having the children learn how to navigate in their environment. Life skills are so important. We don't see life skills. When I went to school, okay, I'm dating myself, typing class,
Right.
home ec, you learned life skills, how to survive, okay? That's what I think is very important. Culinary, how do you cook? You don't necessarily have to make a gourmet meal. How can you make yourself breakfast? You wake up on a Saturday morning, scramble an egg.
Right. Find your way around the kitchen a
Find your
little
way
bit.
around the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's
Basic needs.
We
Okay.
we seem to have done away with a lot of that, I feel
Well,
like, right?
I could tell you, school board members are listening to this right now, and maybe.
I mean,
I don't know who you're
even the
referencing.
arts sometimes it's like those things they're so important in
No, it's-
making somebody well-rounded and just like a full
Basic.
No, it
person.
really is. It's. I remember we had like a. You know what it was when I was in school. There wasn't a lot of emphasis on it. It was like an elective, so you'd go for like I think it was like a marking period or semester or whatever, and that was it. You got your one.
But you got a taste of
home ec.
different things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I always I love those classes because I tell you it's invaluable information. And when I was in law school, the teacher, actually one of my my favorite professors, said he would make a joke. He's like, I'm gonna step away from the curriculum for a minute and teach you something that you're actually gonna need
Yeah.
when you're in practice.
Definitely.
And he would give us some real tips. And I think that education generally is missing a lot of the practical stuff, doing taxes. Right, like like buying a
Finances.
house,
Check-
saving,
balancing a
balancing a checkbook, things that you really truly need as an adult, right, to succeed. Basic
Absolutely.
stuff. We're caught up in the math. And listen, you need your math, your science.
Of course,
There's a
those
method
things
to
are
the
important.
madness. You
Absolutely.
need
You
that
have to know
stuff.
how to apply
Correct.
those educational
And
components.
It sounds like you figured that out a long time ago, and you instill that in your students, and that's really awesome. I wanted to ask you about your father came into the industry with a background with, like you said, child psychology and whatnot. What kind of background did you come in 1999?
I'm eclectic. I'm all over the place. I started out as a business major. Then I went into educational major. I finally wound up with a degree in liberal arts. But I've taken tons of classes, courses.
Hey, you grew up
Well-rounded.
there. I mean, I'm my path is very similar because
Yeah.
I like so many different things. I had a lot of different careers and never
Me
probably
too.
would have thought that I would have settled to where I am.
Absolutely.
But I feel like all of those things all come together when it clicks. And you
Yeah,
grew up
yeah,
there, so you
yeah, I
had
did.
that. That's something you can't learn.
I've seen it from the bottom up. Just to touch on what you were talking about with culinary and working and incorporating, we have a great work study program. When you were talking about balancing a checkbook, when a student is 16 years old, 14 years old, we start their transitioning, the transitioning process. When they're 16, we allow them to get a job outside of school. We get them a job. Okay, we find local businesses that are willing to hire them. We take them to the bank. They have to open up a bank account. We teach them how to apply for a job, whether it's going into the place, filling out an application, doing something online. They have to have a little bit of an interview.
Yeah.
They have to sign a contract with their work study teacher saying that they're going to show up for school to go to their job. We have so many local businesses. We have kids working at Me Mom's, Bruno's, 10th and Willow, in Casa in Freehold, Dick's,
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Panera Bread.
That's like good practical experience.
Exactly.
For them.
We teach them how to get a job, how to balance their. Nobody really has a checkbook
I
nowadays.
know it's true.
But they
But
learn
the app,
the app.
the banking app.
Yeah.
You got to know how to use
Yeah.
the banking app. It's important. No, but
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that's amazing. I love the way that you have structured the curriculum, but also what really appealed to me too was that you had a lot of clubs and sports.
Oh yeah.
So having that extracurricular activity really helps them to have a great experience overall.
you stole my question. I was going to ask about if they had a rugby team.
Oh yeah, I should have.
Yeah,
You're
I-
a sports guy. I should have let you have that one.
I would know. You beat me to it. It's good.
Too dangerous.
What sports do you have? Do you have like an
We
athletic
don't
program?
have an official sports team and athletics. The students that come to our school are allowed to participate in sports at their sending school district.
Okay.
What we try to incorporate is sports during the day because sportsmanship is very important.
Yep.
We do have a basketball team and they play other private special ed schools. We do have a short season, which is there's only 5 schools that participate, but it's awesome because the kids are learning teamwork.
Yeah.
They might
Yeah.
not have the opportunity, or maybe a student who wouldn't necessarily make a basketball team in high school. They're not good enough in high school, but they're good enough for us.
That's awesome.
And everybody gets to, you don't have to try out, you're included. So I was walking around the school a couple of weeks ago and the middle school kids were asking me, they want a soccer team. Okay, there's a lot of kids that want to play soccer now. And so that's going to be the next thing. It's their school. I always tell them, it's your school. You tell us what you want to see here. You want a chess club? You got it. Fridays is our club day.
Okay.
That's
They
awesome.
could do, and everything is scheduled. Chess, badminton, basketball, soccer, karaoke, which is really fun.
That's fun.
That's really cool. Up to 8th grade?
Up to
We're
12th, right?
We have 12th grade,
Okay.
okay, but we also have super seniors because special needs, they can stay in school until they're 21.
Okay.
They can earn all of their credits, let's say, to graduate, but then if they need transitional services, additional, okay? If they're college bound, we have a fast start college bound program, so they can take college classes at the local community
That's
college. We provide the transportation for them. One of the counselors will go with them to get them acclimated, show them around campus, wait outside the classroom just in case if they have
Right.
a meltdown or they just can't handle it.
Right.
That's
So
incredible
there's
support.
So much support there for them.
Yeah.
Getting back to the culinary and the work study, okay, our current culinary instructor is a former student of ours who graduated.
Wow.
That's awesome.
He came to our school, typical, I think he was about 14 years old. The culinary instructor at the time just took him under his wing. And he just blossomed, right? He went to culinary school after rugby for 2 years. He went to Brookdale Community College.
It's a good program.
Excellent
It
program.
really is.
It is.
right, he comes back to me, said, Mr. Santo, can you hire me as, Mr. T's culinary? I love having the students come back to the school. One of my goals, believe it or not, is to have every single student have every single employee at the school be replaced, not now, eventually,
Yeah.
as people come and go, to have them work there. Because they truly understand the
Yeah,
kids.
absolutely.
And that's my way of giving back to the community, giving them
Right.
opportunities.
That's great.
I said, go out into the world, get some experience, and come back in a couple of years. And that's what he did, and now he works there.
Is there like a strong alumni network?
Very strong, very strong.
Do you keep in touch with the students from the 70s and the 80s? Or-
Yes, we do.
That's
As a matter
awesome.
of fact, we have an ongoing alumni list,
That's awesome.
and every year, the day before Thanksgiving, we throw a huge Thanksgiving feast, and we have about 300 people show up.
So it's homecoming.
Alumni. It's homecoming.
it's
That's
homecoming.
our homecoming.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, now there's generations of alumni, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it started in the 70s. You're talking, it's 50 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's great.
50
Really cool.
years ago. Ooh.
Quick math.
Yep.
Quick math.
That's
So,
good.
I mean, it sounds like you guys have a very family oriented kind of feeling in the school. Like everybody's either, we're all but one big family or we're all on one team. So, I feel like that type of an environment is so incredible and everybody wants to be a part of something like
Sure.
that. But what do you think what to you is the most important thing when a student moves on, they graduate and they go on to the next thing? What's their takeaway? What do they bring with them that you guys provided to them by being part of your
That's a
community?
good question. I think it's different for each student. They all have individual goals and accomplishments. I think the biggest takeaway is probably a sense of belonging and acceptance and encouragement and the feeling that, oh, I can succeed. We've had students that have gone on to law school, have graduated from Georgetown. We had a student who got his master's degree from Stevens and works for Google. Excuse me.
That's awesome.
So we give them the encouragement and the tools.
Sometimes it's all you need is just encouragement.
Yeah,
you
and the
know?
confidence,
Yeah,
because
that-
when you approach anything with confidence, I feel like you're always more successful.
Do the alumni help
Sure.
one another? Because I tell you, the most valuable part of an alumni network, in my opinion, obviously the school plays a large role in that, but also this, just like the Facebook groups where the alumni for that particular year keep in touch. They help each other get jobs. They help
Oh,
each
absolutely.
other. They know somebody who can get them an interview.
They keep in touch with each
That's
other,
awesome.
for sure.
Very cool. Very cool.
So, what are things that you need that the
Excuse me.
community might be able to help with?
Jobs.
Jobs for students.
Jobs for students is, after COVID, it was very challenging to be able to get our students into outside jobs, outside positions. It's getting easier. We used to have volunteers. Our students used to volunteer at some of the local nursing homes. We're finally getting back
Right.
into
That's awesome.
that after so many years. We do a backpack program on Fridays for students who are economically disadvantaged. We send them home with food for the weekend for themselves, and that goes hand in hand with the culinary.
Yeah.
So we give them food that they can prepare for themselves.
That's awesome.
So if anybody wants to donate food, that would be really awesome.
So, on your website, do you guys post like things that are coming up or anything that you might want community engagement with? Is there a place where people can go, a resource where they can kind of see what things you might need or want?
No, but that's a great idea.
It is.
We do. We.
I think it would be helpful.
I think that's fantastic. We have Instagram. We're trying to build up our followers. We have about 350 followers,
Yeah,
if
well,
anybody has
I'll
any
be happy to
ideas,
share your Instagram with my
that's perfect.
followers.
We'll do this. And
absolutely.
we have a
That's great.
And we
no,
we
have a
do for the
Facebook-
podcast
Yeah,
too.
we have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram.
We have an
page?
Instagram too.
We do, yes.
Yep.
I also share it on there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That would be
Awesome.
Yeah.
wonderful.
I mean, I think that, being in this community with you guys, it's important to get that word out and for people to know what you do because it's amazing. It
We're
really
right down
is.
the street from
Right
you,
down the
Lisa.
street.
We've had some of our students come to your place to make candy.
To make things,
Yeah,
yes.
they've had so much fun,
It is
too.
it is
The
a
little
lot
guys.
of fun. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And I
kids.
definitely
Yeah.
remember groups coming in and doing some of those
Yeah.
hands-on things with us.
Very cool.
Do you want to break for some advertising now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is
Go
that
ahead.
okay?
Sure, I'm
All
okay
right.
with that.
All right. Excuse us for a second. Got to cover some business here. Okay, so our advertisers, Peter James Floral. Peter James is located in Ocean. They specialize in beautiful flowers for events, weddings, all kinds of incredible designs, as well as their subscription services for flowers on a regular basis. So with spring coming, think about Peter James Florals to brighten someone's day.
And Peter James was a guest on the podcast. If you want to see a great episode, check that one out.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Yep.
He's actually doing some flowers for my daughter's wedding, which is in 9 days. Shout out to
Wow.
the bride.
Congrats. Congratulations.
awesome.
And no, it's pretty exciting, and he's incredible. So we're happy to have him on our team for our special day. And then just to mention about Chocolate Carousel, we have some pretty cool news. So we have Cake Slice Saturday. It's actually this Saturday, the 15th. It's the third Saturday of every month from 11 to 2. It's a cake eating extravaganza. And this Saturday, it's themed, actually. It's a Here Comes the Bride theme. My daughter thought it would be a good idea to theme it after her.
Absolutely.
Since she's the bride. So we
Absolutely.
went along with that.
Have to.
And it's going to be really fun. But we're doing now our flights to go. Everybody's has been asking if we can do the flights to go, and it's a thing now. So you can go right on our website. You can purchase a flight to go, and you can get your Cake Slice Saturday cakes even without having to spend some time in the bakery, although we'd love for you to spend time with us. But if you can't, to get one to go. It's the best way to do it. So that's that. That's that.
All right.
Back to business.
Okay, back to business. Okay, so let's talk about you, just a little bit. So what do you
I'm
think?
not interesting.
We think you are. What do you think are some of your qualities that have made you successful in what you do?
I'm very good at starting new projects. I think I have great ideas. I like to challenge myself, challenge my staff, challenge the students to strive for better things. I don't give up. I'm a fighter. I push. I don't like when people question me per se. So I'm always looking for answers, looking for information, and I like to inspire people to do new things in the school, bring new programs.
I love that you came in with fresh eyes. I
Yeah.
think that's important, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and I think that never giving up is always important
give
for
up.
anybody in business.
You know, one of the things, I'm never worried that we're not going to make it. COVID, everybody knows that COVID was horrendous, right, for everybody.
For everybody.
And I never worried. I'm not a worry type of a person. I have a very strong faith. And I think that if God wants us to continue this path, it's going to happen.
Were your students able to come in during COVID, or did you have to do learning
No,
at
we
home?
did remote.
You did remote.
We did remote as soon as we had to. And then for the whole summer, we did remote. But I had everybody back in school by September. They said we could have them back. We did have a few students that wanted to stay remote. The parents requested remote. So we did a hybrid.
We did a hybrid.
Yeah, we did a hybrid.
Yeah.
But,
I'm sure that was challenging.
It was very challenging. I mean, some of the students would be sleeping in bed and, getting their lesson.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting. But, I mean, one of the things that I never wanted to fill my father's shoes. I always wanted to make my own shoes, make my own path,
Sounds like
create
you
my
did.
own.
It sounds like you did. You didn't, and because you oversaw the growth of a very successful
Absolutely.
and a very unique school that provides very unique services. It's really amazing what you did. And it grew tremendously under your leadership, which is a testament to you and your
Thank
leadership
you.
and your great staff.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
a
I gotta
fantastic
say,
staff.
Happen to know a few, at
Yeah.
least one.
Great staff.
Yep.
And they stay for such a long time too.
Which is
that's how you know.
that's a testament to you,
Yeah.
and how you run the school.
Yeah.
And I wanted to also touch on that you also have some mental health services that go on in school too. So you're really working with the students and the whole person.
Right.
And I
Yeah, we
think that's
do.
so important.
We have 5 counselors, school counselors / social workers. We have an art therapist for students who can't express themselves verbally. They express themselves through art, which is really a great tool for them.
I love the community involvement, the ties to the deep roots to the community through local business owners.
Right.
And what you kind of created. I don't know how much of it was your father and how much of it was you, but we know that 50 years later, you have deep roots in the community.
Absolutely.
That and they're lasting roots. You've been. You said I think you indicated before that you had these connections to local businesses for how many years? Probably since the 80s or 90s. We
True.
talked offline for a minute. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I lost my train of thought. So you got me.
I'm sorry.
So you got me off track.
I'm sorry.
All right, come back to me. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any younger.
Well, I wanted to ask this when you were actually talking about, when you said let's talk about you. I always ask, what would you impart upon our audience? Because you're a local business owner, you're a successful educator, leader in the community. People who are listening, there's plenty of people listening right now, young people who are just getting into this kind of business or other businesses, education field, and all kinds of stuff that's tied to the rugby school or has connections to the school. What would you tell them? What's a piece of advice you would give them if you're just starting out looking to get into this kind of education business?
I think if you follow your passion, follow your heart, and don't give up, keep fighting for what you want.
Yeah.
Because there's no doors that you can't open. Don't let anybody tell you no. And if they do tell you no, find a different door to go through.
It's great advice.
Yeah.
I remembered.
Sure.
I remember, so when I was, I went to Georgian Court University to be a teacher, actually. That was my original plan. And there was a hiring freeze all over New Jersey in 2010, I think it was, for whatever reason. And the advice that we got was, go get your master's degree, do something else until this thing kind of blows over. And a lot of great people who would have been great teachers, truly great teachers, who were very good friends of mine, who were in my class, did not become teachers, did something else. And I'm sure that a lot of them doing great things in other areas. But
It's a hard profession, but
is.
it's been through so much, right?
it is, but if
it's
if they would have taken, and even myself maybe, taken your, you know what, if a door closes,
Right.
keep
Just
at it.
keep
That's what you want to
pushing.
do. I'm still not giving up, by the way. I want to become a college professor one day. That's one of my goals.
Well, and you do that.
Yes,
Definitely.
professor.
You'll be great at it.
Professor, and I would love that. But that's great advice. Great advice. Don't give up.
My question before that, I forgot, I lost my train of thought, but I remembered. How do students come to you? Like, how do you kind of, or is it just known out in the community? Are you referred from different school districts?
Yeah, that's a great question. We get our referrals from many different sources. It could be school districts, psychologists, counselors, CMO workers that are working with the student. They know about us. They know about rugby school. If you're in that profession, okay? So we have students from all different counties: Monmouth, Ocean, Middlesex, Mercer. Okay, those are our core counties. And the students will get referred basically by their counselor in school, and they call us. We'll set up an interview. We'll look at their records. We want to make sure that they're the right fit for us, and but more importantly, we're the right fit for them.
Yeah. Has to
That's
work.
more
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
Right.
Okay. And of course, there a lot of times there's resistance with the students. They don't want to come there. But I guarantee you, after a couple of months, they don't want to leave. And the parents are so thrilled that they cannot believe that their child is actually waking up themselves to come to school. That is one of the greatest joys, is to hear that from a parent.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
big.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, because the parents struggle. It's hard for them every day, and I feel that we offer a lot of support to the parents and the families as well.
That's important. Very important too.
So my last question is, what are you looking most forward to in the years to come for the rugby school?
Keep flourishing, keeping our doors open, hopefully getting some new staff members. It's always nice to get fresh ideas, the younger generation in, and just becoming, continue to be a pillar of the community and give our kids a safe place, a safe environment.
Are you looking to grow and expand, or are you looking because
Honestly, no.
well, I was going to say, because the individualized attention that your students get, you have you said 14 teachers, I think you said 5 counselors,
Right.
and 98 students. So the student to teacher ratio is pretty good right now.
Very good.
We
Yeah,
have a
that's pretty-
phys ed teacher.
Okay.
Phys ed teacher. We have an OT and a speech therapist on staff.
And that's important
as well.
That's super important in any educational setting, to have that individualized attention, or as much, I guess, contact with your accessibility to your teacher as possible.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you have that here at your school, and you've had it for a long time.
We are such a strong community and such a tight-knit, close community. Everybody knows everybody's name, which you can walk down the hallway. You greet everybody, usually by their first names. And the kids are so loving towards each other. And the older students embrace the younger kids and the newer students. And
Yeah, that's
they
very
show
important.
them the ropes.
That's very
You
important.
built a great culture.
Yeah.
over
Yeah,
there.
I think it's amazing, and I love the small school environment and just everything that you guys are doing
Thanks.
to help
No,
these,
really.
Great.
these students really grow and to
I'm very
thrive.
proud.
You should be.
Very
You should
proud
be.
of
say.
our school. I'd love to have you come and visit us.
Love to
that
see
would
it.
be
Yeah,
great.
we're in. We're in.
Absolutely.
You
Be
say
awesome.
the word. Yeah, I'd love
Absolutely.
to do that.
And your friend that that works there, do we have any good, feedback?
Wow.
yeah,
Well,
I mean, I think he's a great guy.
off the air. No, just kidding.
Very likable.
No, he's
I'm going to stay out of this one.
Yeah.
He's great. You got a
You got
heck of a
You
staff
got
member.
lucky there.
We did get lucky.
Ask around. So
So thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming and
You're
chatting with us.
welcome.
It's really
Awesome.
exciting to hear and very inspirational. You said you wanted to be inspirational, and you really are.
Thank
so
you
should
so
be very
much for
proud
having me.
great
I
way to-
really
great
appreciate
way to
it.
break into the new year. We haven't. This is our first show back
of the
in-
year because
Yep.
of the renovations that
Yeah.
were going on here.
We're now facing
in
the phone
studio.
booth. You can't see us right now, but we're facing the phone booth, and we don't have the army gear behind us
No.
anymore.
Yep.
We have our beautiful
So yes, we've
backdrop.
been completely
Thank
renovated.
you. Yeah, thank you.
Great
Lisa.
Special
studio.
thanks to Lisa for that.
Yep. And the spider that used to be in here is gone, so I think that was part of the renovation.
If anybody's curious, can we have a live studio audience? Because I feel like
I feel like we should take some pictures of the room. Just
We can do that.
I
feel like people would really appreciate
the viewers need to see
what we
our,
got
our
going
studio.
on here.
Yep. Well, thank you very much for coming on
Thank you
again.
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. It was
Great
really
time.
fun
Thank you.
having you. And
I
yeah,
appreciate
we're
it.
gonna come. We're gonna come for a tour. So let's set
Great.
that up
Yep.
for sure.
I'm going to come for a slice on Saturday.
Okay,
too.
yeah, come
Yeah.
for Cake Slice
What's the
Saturday.
specialty?
It's a lot of fun. Well, the flavors will be posted tomorrow on our
Okay.
Instagram, so you can check there. And yeah, I'm not allowed to scoop the flavors yet.
Oh, no.
My,
Okay.
my social media team will have my head for that.
Well, take care, everybody. Thank
All
you
right,
very
we'll
much.
see you soon.
All right,
See you
thank
next week.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.